Grief is a normal way in which a human being responds to the loss of a loved one. It can be challenging and difficult as it may come with many changes within a person who is grieving. And the most challenging part is learning to adjust to living without your loved one. Keep in mind that there are no right or wrong reactions to a loss and that grief is a personal journey. It is important to always remember that while there may be similarities in how people grieve, there will also be differences because of the uniqueness that we all have. How a person grieves also depends on their personality, their coping styles, life experiences, the nature of the relationship with the deceased, and how the loss happened. The time it takes to adjust also differs for each person. For some people, even years after the loss, they may still experience intense grief in certain situations or events that remind them of their loved one. Grief does not always occur as a step-by-step process. At times, it might feel like a roller coaster characterized by highs and lows of mixed emotions. These may often become intense in the beginning or on special days, like, for example, birthdays, which can be difficult. However, with time, these emotional swings will lessen in intensity as you learn to adapt to your changed circumstances. But to begin with, it can be hard. It is also a mind and body response. To understand your own grief, you must also observe how your mind and body responds to the loss of your loved one. Remember, the goal of the grieving process is to learn to live with the loss. So, the first step in managing grief is to understand your own feelings and reactions. Some of the most common feelings include denial, shock, numbness, where you may be having thoughts like, "This can't be happening, it can't be true," resulting in numbness for the first few days. Sadness, where you feel an overwhelming sadness often expressed through crying uncontrollably at times. Yearning, where you miss the physical closeness and everything associated with your lost loved one. Guilt, for not loving them enough or not being there for them. Anxiety, which may be about fear and worry about the future, fear of more death in the family. Anger at the world, other people, yourself, or even your loved one for leaving you. You may also experience changes in your behavior and functioning, and you may find that it affects you in some or all of the following ways. Your energy, where you feel exhausted. Sleep, where you struggle to fall asleep or you oversleep and sometimes experience disturbing dreams. Your digestive system, which might be upset as evidenced by a loss of appetite or overeating. There may be changes in your body, characterized by tight or weak muscles as well as headaches. You may find that there are changes in your behavior where you are withdrawn and impatient. You may experience mental changes such as poor concentration, inability to make decisions, and forgetfulness. The change is usually gradual, but with time, you may feel less overwhelmed and preoccupied by the loss. In all of these experiences that you may be going through, remember that these emotions and changes are a normal response to the loss of a loved one. So let's look at a few ways on coping. To begin to cope with and manage your grief, it's important to devise a positive self-care plan. 1. Face your feelings. Be aware of the changes you are going through. Remember that these changes are a normal way in which your body and mind responds to the loss of your loved one. 2. Find healthy and appropriate ways of expressing your experiences and feelings. These may involve talking to a friend or seeking spiritual guidance about the feelings and changes you may be going through. Keeping a journal and/or diary where you write your feelings and experiences. There is no formula on what to write, as others may feel like addressing their feelings to the loved one, God, or to themselves. You may also find it comfortable to express yourself in other creative ways like writing poetry and painting. 3. Take care of yourself. Your mind and body requires you to take care of yourself during this time. It might seem like a tough task, so start gradually and build up as you start feeling better. You may not feel like eating, but eat as if you are taking a pill because your mind and body needs it. Therefore, strive to eat fruit and vegetables and drink plenty of water. Gradually allow yourself to start engaging in your healthy hobbies. one day at a time. For example, take a walk around the block and gradually build up from there. Surround yourself with positive people, either from your faith or friends that you know are quite encouraging to be around. 4. Be careful of quick fixes, which are those self-healing mechanisms that are tempting and usually make you feel better quickly, but have negative consequences. These may start to creep in if you don't devise and implement a healthy self-care plan during your grief. These quick fixes may involve behaviors that we normally wouldn't engage in. 5. Seek professional help. When the grief is unbearable and you find that it is starting to impact negatively on your life and it starts affecting your relationships and your academic performance, reach out to PsyCAD. There are professionals available to assist you in your journey.